Just northwest of the Burmese Tree, northwest of Bellevue, lies the town of Frank. On April 29th, 1903, at approximately 4:10 in the morning, this once bustling coal mining town fell victim to Canada's deadliest rockslide, as the towering Turtle Mountain, dubbed the mountain that moves by the local indigenous people, delivered a merciless rockslide of absolute destruction onto parts of this town. Even today, 120 years later, traveling westbound on Highway 3, the Crowsnest Highway, you literally drive through the excavated path between all the rocks that fell, and you get a really up-close look at the destruction around you.
Imagine back in the coal mining age, big job opportunity comes up. You can go and, make your mint working in the mine, send money back to your family, huge opportunity. You can't wait to get out there and build a life there. Well, back in 1903, the town of Frank, it was built below a mountain called Turtle Mountain, which the indigenous people warned not to settle there because the mountain moves. And the mountain, it can't be trusted, basically. In 1903, the town of Frank, in a span of about 100 seconds, there was what they call Canada's deadliest rock slide, and about 110 million tons of rock rolled down, killed numerous people. The only attempts at excavation have been to build the highway, the Crowsnest Highway, Highway 3, running through it, and to get railroad through. But otherwise, when you drive through, there's still these mountains of rock. The buildings from Frank and the bodies of the inhabitants were never excavated, so they're still buried under the rock. So as we walk around this place, and if you ever find yourself in the Crowsnest Pass, and you're walking around here, just take a moment of silence, really take it in, and make sure you treat the area with respect. We're essentially walking through a tomb right now.
When Rita and I used to live down south, I used to drive through the Frank Slide disaster area numerous times for work. Rita and I have walked it several times before. No matter how many times we walk this area, it blows my mind looking around at this mass monument of destruction that has sat as a sobering reminder of the wrath of the mountain in the 120 years since this disaster occurred. It's even more sobering knowing that there's still buildings and people buried underneath those rocks after all these years. Over 90 people died in this disaster. Some were fortunate enough to escape the destruction and live to tell the tale. One incredible feat was that of 17 people in the mine when the disaster struck. They were able to escape by spending approximately 13 hours literally mining themselves to the surface. There were many incredible tales of heroism from this disaster. A large portion of the railway was buried. However, it was reconstructed in a mere 17 days. The mine was eventually reopened, and people continued their lives in Frank. Frank continued to prosper for a time, until the coal mining rush began to significantly slow down, as was the case for a number of coal mining towns in the 1900s. Experts are certain that Turtle Mountain, towering over the Crowsnest Highway like a fortress, will have a second rock avalanche someday. Monitoring equipment can be found on and around the mountain, constantly looking for signs of movement and tremors that may indicate another horrific outburst from the mountain that moves.